Hey everyone, Video Game Lover here, and welcome to another edition of Games That I Finished video. I cannot believe we're already in October. Holy hell, man. The playoffs in baseball has just started. I can't believe it's already October. So I only finished 8 games this month, and kind of a low tier this time around, but I'm going to try my best to beat a little bit more games this month, but we'll see how that goes. But anyways, the first game that I beat, I actually beat it in the live stream, and that was Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the Fighting Edition. It was the Power Rangers fighting game for the Super Nintendo, and man, where was I when this game came out, and how come I didn't review it? It's a really solid fighting game. Even though the roster is kind of on the weak side, it's a really good fighting game. So if you find that game cheap, I highly recommend picking it up. It's a really good game. Great music. The combat, the fighting, feels really top-notch in that game. It's a good game. I really liked it. Another game I beat, and I don't have it anymore. Firefighter FD18. That was the game that I bought in the Southeast Game Exchange. Let me tell you something. That game was dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. There were so many times I died for the wrong reasons. I died from trial and error. There are times where you'll be walking down and then all of a sudden a bunch of parts of the ceiling will fall and you die instantly. Like, how was I supposed to know? The walking is slow, the bosses make no sense, the story is terrible. It's just a bad game. The only reason I bought it, as I mentioned it in the Southeast Game Exchange video, I only bought it because Konami made it. So that's why I'm like, oh, Konami made it, so it might be good. No, I was wrong. I don't know what the hell happened. They were doing good because they made the 2 Castlevania games, Nano Breaker and, of course, Metal Gear Solid, but they ended up making this piece of crap game. So I did not like Firefighter FD18. That game was out the fucking door real fast. Next up, we have, I guess we'll go with this game. Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. This is the sequel to Fantastic Four on PS2. This is also on 360 and other systems. This game, they try to make things a little simple. So in the first game, you had like platforming, a little bit of puzzle solving. Here, it's just a full-blown beat 'em up. It's 4 players beat 'em up. Sounds good, right? Only problem, the combat in this game is so shallow. It is so unbelievably shallow to no end. It's so redundant and you're gonna get bored fast. Thankfully the game is only 3 hours, but man, it felt longer than 3 hours. It's a shame because I get what they were trying to do. They didn't want to make it like too focused on platforming. They want to make it more simpler, easy pick up and play. It's just not really a good beat 'em up, and I'm very disappointed in this game because I thought the first Fantastic Four was okay. It wasn't amazing, but nothing, right home about. Alright, next up we have Cars for the PSP. I finished this game. This game is actually surprisingly a lot of fun. It's not nothing amazing, but the controls are nice. It's a fun little racing game for the PSP. It's nothing but races. You really need to know the shortcuts in this game because if not, you're gonna lose some of these races. But not a bad game. Once you know everything, it's a pretty fun game. Next up, we have Samurai Warriors State of War for the PSP. This is basically like a remix / port of Samurai Warriors on PSP, but they had to compromise it to fit on this UMD, and it's really good. I really enjoyed Samurai Warriors. I was Nobunaga, had a lot of fun as him, and this is a really solid hack and slash game for the PSP. PSP had a lot of hack and slash games, so really cool to have that. Finish that. Next up, we have Hydra for the Atari Lynx. A really good conversion of the arcade game. It's a lot of fun. When I announced that I beat this game, a lot of people were surprised because they thought this game was really hard. The trick is that you don't want to shoot a lot. If you shoot a lot, if you use your specials a lot, it drains your fuel faster. But once you know that, this game is actually not too hard. I really enjoyed Hydra. It's a really good game. Next up, we have at long last, and I do plan on doing the review of this game, Pikmin 4. I finally finished this game and 100%ed it. This is one of my newest favorite Pikmin games ever. It's so good. It took what made Pikmin 2 so good and made it even better. This is a really good game, and I do plan on doing a review of it similar to how I did Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But I really enjoy this game a lot. Last but not least, this game might surprise you. Rise of the Kasai. If you don't know about this game, this is the sequel to Mark of Crete. Let me answer your first question. Why did I bought and play through this game even though I absolutely despise Mark of Crete for its punishing difficulty, clunky controls, stiff combat? I'll tell you, this game is a lot better in almost every way. For one, it's nowhere near as hard as Mark of Crete. Now, the game does get tough near the end, but that's reasonable because that's the end of the game. You know, Mark of Crete was hard almost when the game literally started. And it's like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? But this game, the difficulty is a lot better. The combat is a little bit better. Not a whole lot, but it's a little bit better. The controls are better. And the best thing about this game, you actually have a partner now. So, for example, if you're Tati, Raru will do the fighting as well. It's really, really cool. By the way, Tati is really overpowered in this game. I'm not sure what the intent was, her being the easy mode of this game, but I actually had a good time with this game. It had its moments of being annoying, but this is a solid game. Maybe one of these days I might go back to Mark of Crete, but I don't know. I highly doubt because that game really pissed me off. But yeah, finished Mark of Crete. It was a pretty decent game. Pretty good game. Well, anyways, guys, that's all the games that I beat for the month of September. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Video Game Over for the 8. Sign out. Peace.